everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Demelza's Delights. My channel is 100% vegan and cruelty free. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you really enjoy this video. It is on this makeup look, but this is part 2. If you haven't seen how I created the eye look, you might want to have a look at this video here. But if you've already watched that one, then you're in the right place. It's a bit of a mix match between lots of different brands to create this look. I'm going to try out some new products from WetnWild. Stay tuned for the full tutorial. I hope you really enjoy it. So before I started my eye look, I used the Antipodes Hosanna H2O Skin Plumping Serum. So I used that one to first prime my face. It is a very jelly-like consistency. I really like it. I'm applying with the Designer Brands Brow Brush, and I'm going into my Mellow Cosmetics, which is a New Zealand brand, brow pomade in the shade Chocolate, in the colour Chocolate. It's easier to start in small strokes, filling it in where you see fit. Here I've got a big gap, so I like to create a little bit more colour in the eyebrow, fill it out a bit more. The difference between the two, this one just looks a little bit thin, this one's got more definition to it, but we're going to create even more definition when I take to it with concealer. So the concealer I've been using hasn't changed. It's the e.l.f. Maximum Coverage Concealer, oil free, and it's in the shade Porcelain. I'm just going into the concealer on my brush. I like to line the top of my brow. And this concealer might look quite harsh at the moment, but of course it's going to be blended in with your foundation. It just makes the shape of the brow a whole lot tidier, especially at the ends, I find. I definitely could have put more pomade into the brows if I wanted to. I can still see a few gaps, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to use my clear, which is not so clear anymore. Please don't look quite gross. I need to buy a new one. Clear brow mascara, and just go through that. This is from Designer Brands, just to set the brows in place. They look a whole lot tidier, a whole lot better. I'm trying this new foundation from WetnWild. It's their PhotoFocus one, which is supposed to be HD. And I've got this one in the colour Soft Beige. A little spatula in it, which I find to be really good for application. I'm going to put that onto my hand. I'm going in with the Designer Brands blending slash buffing slash foundation brush. Got a flat top to it, kind of like a kabuki brush. And I really find this easy for application of foundation. Oh, this foundation goes on really light. I forgot to tell you that this is the first time I'm using this foundation. It is quite watery, but I really like the application. It's easy to work with, easy to build. And I prefer a buffing brush to a beauty blender for this type of application for liquid foundations. You can see I'm just taking it off my hand, putting it onto the brush, and then straight on my face. This would last me ages. Now don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure these are only around $15 to $20, if not less, at Farmers in New Zealand. I was really excited when WetnWild arrived in New Zealand. So that's blended in really well with that Maximum Coverage Concealer from e.l.f. You can buy e.l.f. at K-Mart in New Zealand. I'm going down the neck with my foundation. And I really like the finish of that. That's beautiful. It smells divine too. Now I'm going to show you the new palettes from Designer Brands. I ran through the whole range in one of my vlogs. I think it was Christmas Day part 1. You can watch that one to see an unboxing of these goodies. But I've got their Pressed Illuminator and their Pressed Bronzer. I'll show you the old version of this one. So you can see it doesn't have a name on the front of it because I've used it so much and completely worn it out. But it's basically a small compact like that. So that is the same shade that they now have in this compact, which is newly released. So you've got two shades, you've got a lighter shade and a darker shade. I'm going to use this dark shade to contour, and hopefully this one will be alright for bronzing. When I contour, I take the sides of a brush and dip it in the product, and then I go into my cheeks. Oh yeah, it's a nice colour. I'm going to take this up into the temples because I like to make my 5-head a 4-head. Bring that on down. Bring it on down. I quite often go into my hairline and take it backwards. That's the way I like it. This is normally a step I would do before I have done the smoking out of the eyes, but because I did this eye look before I did my base makeup, I am now going to conceal my under eyes, which I'm doing this the wrong way because I've just put powder on my cheeks. So I recommend this step before you smoke out your under eye. So I might be adding a little bit more colour to my under eye soon. I'm going to use a damp beauty blender or, you know, smaller sponge, cheapo sponge that you bought from somewhere else. Get rid of the lines that I have underneath my eye and some of the purpleness as well. I'm using patting motions. I'm not sweeping it across my face, I'm just slightly dabbing it in. They're still there. For some reason my tear ducts are very prominent in this particular video. I have put layer upon layer of concealer and nothing is changing. So anyway, we've brightened up the under eyes. But I'm just using whatever is left over of concealer on this little sponge and highlighting above the brow bone. I'm now going to use some of the new designer brands pressed illuminator. This one here is in the shade Moonlight. I am going to be using the lighter side, which is like a champagne gold colour, to highlight my cheeks. I'm using my Natio blusher brush to put this highlighter on. I really love this highlighter. Okay, finishing touches to this look, I'm going to be using the designer brand's Brilliant Shimmer, and this one here is an eyeshadow duo. So you can see one side is a gorgeous gold colour and the other side is this brilliant green. I'm going to be using the gold side. Pop a little bit of this glitter just underneath the eye here, just to create a little bit of sparkle and finish off the look. I'm still loving the fact that I haven't used false lashes for this look. This is all to do with the beautiful long lash mascara from Anika. I'm now going to use whatever is left over in my old false and flared mascara by Designer Brands. I really like the wand on this one. I'm sure you've heard me say that 50 million times in my other videos. I'm using it on my lower lash line because it is an old mascara, so I don't get that clumping just because there's not much product left in the tube. And that, my friends, is the finished makeup look. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. This was just me trying out some products, some new base products, the WetnWild foundation, the bronzers and illuminators from Designer Brands. I would wear this look out, I would wear it to dinner, I would wear it day-to-day occasion. I really like seeing how different brands work together, and I love seeing how vegan makeup can be really affordable but also really practical. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are in the description box down below as to what you thought about the palette, the Wet n Wild palette and my previous eye look, the foundation that I tried today, the base products that I tried. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!